Etymology and historical origin of the baby name Todd. Todd is the transferred use of an English surname which originated as a nickname from the Middle English Northern dialect todde, which meant fox. Such a nickname would have been given to someone who demonstrated traits of slyness or cleverness, or else a person who displayed some physical characteristics of a fox, such as having red hair. The nickname turned surname was most common in northern England and Scotland, usually rendered as todde or Todd, respectively. The surname first appeared in writing in the mid-12th century, but it was also one of the early 17th century surnames in America. It really wasn't until the 20th century that Todd converted into a given name. Personality of the boy named Todd. The number 7 personality is deeply mystical and highly in tune with their spirituality. They operate on a different wavelength than the average Joe. Spending time alone comes easily to 7s, as it gives them time to contemplate philosophical, religious, and spiritual ideas in an effort to find real truth. 7s are wise, but often exude mystery as if they are tapped into something the rest of us don't understand. They love the outdoors and are fed by nature. 7s are constantly seeking to understand human nature, our place in the universe, and the mystery of life in general. This makes them quite artistic and poetic, but they are also keen observers with high intellect, so they are equally scientific-minded. 7s are charitable and care deeply about the human condition. Popularity of the boy named Todd. Todd appeared briefly on the masculine charts in the late 19th century, but for all intents and purposes, this really wasn't a name that came into circulation until 1936. It only took 22 years for Todd to land a position on the top 100 list of most commonly used boy names, 1959. Todd's real popularity occurred in the 1960s and 70s, reaching his highest position ever at spot number 28, 1968 to 1970. Naming trends during the late 60s and early 70s definitely favored quick and strong one-syllable masculine names like Mark, Scott, Sean, Keith, Craig, and Troy. So we weren't surprised to see Todd achieve his greatest status on the charts during the same period. Unfortunately, what goes up generally comes down, and Todd is no exception to this rule. In fact, since the 1990s, this is a name that has descended down the charts at the same pace it once ascended. When we hear the name Todd today, we assume it belongs to a 40-something-year-old man. Those strong one-syllable names all the rage when Gen Zers were babies have since been replaced with newer versions of the one-syllable male names, Luke, Jack, Max, Sam, Chase, Bryce, and Cole. Regardless, there's a lot to be said about Todd. He's quick. He's sly. He's clever. He's cute. He's a fox. Quick facts on Todd. Gender, boy. Origin, English. Number of syllables, 1. Ranking popularity, 966. Pronunciation, todde. Simple meaning, fox. Characteristics of Todd. Mystical, intuitive, imaginative, solitary, philosophical, eccentric, wise. Cultural references to the baby name, Todd. Literary characters of the baby name Todd. Johanna Oakley is a character in the story of Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street, Stephen Sondheim's 1979 musical based on Christopher Bond's 1973 play, itself inspired by an 1846 Penny Dreadful, The String of Pearls. Tim Burton made a movie version in 2007, but our Johanna gets short shrift in it. In Sondheim's version, Johanna is the daughter of Sweeney Todd. By the time she gets into the gist of the plot, Johanna has already lived a wrenching life. Her father was falsely imprisoned, her mother was raped by Johanna's ward, Judge Turpin, and Johanna herself is a virtual prisoner in the judge's home, as he plans to marry her. Phew. As if this weren't enough, she unwittingly comes upon her real father, Sweeney Todd, the embittered ex-prisoner who avenges himself via the barber chair. Not to worry, this is someone who has seen it all. She can murder a man, she can disguise herself as a man, she can evade a knife-wielding madwoman, she can find a lover, and she can melt a father's heart. You're not going to make a meat pie out of this gal. Popular songs on Todd. A song by I Voted For Kodos, Todd. Famous people named Todd. Todd Bodine, NASCAR. Todd Martin, tennis player. Todd Woodbridge, Australian tennis player. Todd Beamer, noted passenger on Flight 93. Todd Rundgren, songwriter and music producer. Todd McFarlane, cartoonist. Historic figures with the name Todd. Mary Todd Lincoln was the wife of perhaps the most beloved president in American history, Abraham Lincoln, and served as First Lady of the land from 1861 until his assassination in 1865. He was beloved she was not. Poor Maria's reputation has suffered as much since her death as before. Maligned as a vain clotheshorse, a spendthrift, and a neurotically selfish woman, she is often depicted as a scourge of the sainted Abe, responsible for just about every ill he suffered short of the assassination. The truth, of course, lies closer to a mundane, albeit crushing, reality. Mary Todd was born into a rich Kentucky family and was educated accordingly. Her marriage to Lincoln was seen by her family as a social faux pas, but she stubbornly stood by him and relinquished her strong Southern roots in favor of supporting him through the Civil War. As a mother, she had the unenviable fate of outliving 3 of her 4 sons. Son Aeroedidi died at the age of 4 of tuberculosis, Willia died of typhoid fever at the age of 12, Todd died, probably of pneumonia, at the age of 18. Only Robert outlived her, and he had her declared incompetent and confined to a mental institution. As a wife, she suffered the trauma of having her husband violently killed right beside her. As a woman in general, she was a victim of various ailments, including depression and the dreaded migraine headaches that afflicted her for years. She even attempted suicide at one point. Mary spent her final years in the home of her sister, as her health grew steadily worse. She died at age 63.